Okay, let the transformation begin. Okay, I got busy / lazy and didn't shoot all the rest of them, so there's the finished, well, sort of finished product. Got a couple of pieces of lattice standing up, 8 feet tall each, and I got to put some kind of top across, but I'll wait a little bit before I do that. But that was the intended project. Now I don't have a blank wall here anymore. That's the major part of it. I'm really happy. And now for a bit of sun tracking. It is now Saturday the 8th, June 8th, right at about 10 o'clock. Good morning, gardening friends. It's now June 18th at a little before 11 a.m. It's probably been about a week and a half since I've actually recorded anything, except for the pergola project, which we'll get back to in a moment. But I wanted to start off with the tomatoes as usual. There's pretty much no other development on the patio, except that really it's kind of getting to be less and less on my own patio. All my concentration has been outside the patio, working on those projects. Eventually, once I get all that done, I'll come back into the patio. So let's see if we can't move and get you a little bit of a view. There's a couple of tomatoes getting ripe. Wonder if I can capture them here. I have to kind of tilt over a little bit. There's one kind of in the back there. I think it's in the center of your picture now. Unfortunately, the screen of my camera is not all that big. It's a little hard to see. There's one way back there. Maybe I can get you a shot from outside. But that's pretty much it. I mean, you can see there's bigger tomatoes starting to grow. And actually, this one looks like it's starting to turn color here. So, we'll see. I really enjoyed the tomatoes that were there before, so this will be the sort of the second crop. I need to clean the plant up a bit too. It's just kind of growing wild. But that's it for the patio. Oops, except for my one extra artichoke plant, which actually needs a little water now. I think I need to transplant that into a bigger pot because it's probably seriously root bound at this point. It's one of the original 4. It hasn't been transplanted. I only had room for the 3, so I'll have to think to actually plant that sometime in the next couple of days. I don't want to sacrifice it. Anyway, let's go outside. So project 1 is the artichokes. 3 planters, all similarly planted. You can see this sort of largest plant in there is the artichoke. I'm looking at it every day, so to me it doesn't look like it's a whole lot bigger, but maybe if we compare to when I first planted it, maybe it is bigger. You can see probably the next largest size thing popping up is the various sunflowers. Excuse me. We got tarragon in there, and we've got some marigold running around the edges. Hasn't really popped as well as the others, but then the marigold seed is kind of old, so we'll see. We just let it keep growing. So that's one project. So project 2 is the pergola project. You can see we've got the table in there, we've got the lattice up, we've actually got some bamboo, just a couple of dollars worth running across the top, just enough to sort of encourage the vines to train across when they do grow. And let me try and get you a better shot of the individual planters so you can see that I've got a few little seedlings just starting to germinate. Okay, so on the right side of the table here, hopefully you can see that there's one itty bitty little one starting to pop. Actually I got another one that tends to be in shadow, but let me see if I can get that. That looks an awful lot like a morning glory to me. And I used to be able to tell the difference between the red and the blue because I planted so many of them, but I don't remember which one this is. But either way, looks like there's morning glory starting to pop, and hopefully it'll get healthy and start climbing up. And then in the big planter, or the round planter on the left, looks like we've got something starting to pop. Hopefully you can see that. And on either side I decided to put some flowers just to give some visual interest while we're waiting for all the other stuff to pop. And I forget exactly what these are. I'll just put it in text on the video. And project 3, I cleaned up the stuff in the north courtyard, so we're back down to just the 4 pots. Actually, I guess I'll have to show you what I did with everything else and you'll understand. But mainly the news is the second pot from the left there. You can see I built kind of a lattice there. I was trying to grow the nasturtium. I was trying to train it up, but nasturtium apparently, I guess what it is it only has enough sort of energy to push its nutrients up a foot or two, which is about the average height of the plant. So if you try to force it to go higher, you can't really train it higher because the nutrients they're working against gravity. They can't make it up. At least that's my theory on what happened. So it was really dying off at the top of the plant and getting really spindly, so I finally just said forget it. Pulled it out, planted a few of the vining seeds that we have over on the pergola project, and built this lattice work so that, or this ladder or whatever you want to call it, so that hopefully they'll train up there and we'll get some color interest over here besides just the green that you see. So that's this project. So while I've been building up all of these various projects outside, cleaning everything up, you gotta wonder, where do all the odds and ends go? Well, they go over here. This is just my staging area at this point. I have the tree sort of in the background there. We're gonna see. I gotta figure out what to do with all of this stuff. I suspect I'll just be putting little bits here and there and kind of trying to figure out how to make everything match up. But at some point I figured out I've just got to pick one staging area so I can make everything else look that much cleaner. Anyway, that's it for... Oh, hey. See if we can follow our friend here. Oh, now you know we're watching. That's it for this episode.